Hey everybody, welcome to Fielder's Choice. Norb, Jose, and today for Fielder's Choice, we are talking about the 2015 League Championship Series, the ALCS and the NLCS. Of course, in the ALCS, we had the Blue Jays and the Royals, and then on the opposite end, we had the Mets and I believe the Cubs, and then the Cubs in the 2015. I mean, when you look back between 2010 and now, it's like, okay, well, it's a complete contrast from teams to situations to champions. It's incredible. So we split up, our thoughts. We split up the conference championship series between each other. So I got the ALCS, as much as it pains me to take the ALCS. Norb has the NLCS, which I'm sure was easier for him because again there was no emotion attached to that. So I'm gonna start with the ALCS, a back and forth series, and it's between the Royals and the Blue Jays. It's two teams that are long vying for a championship. 1985 was the last time for the Royals looking for the World Series. The Blue Jays was their first postseason appearance since the 1993 World Series when Joe Carter hit that beautiful home run to win the World Series for the Blue Jays. So two teams with a lot of history, looking to capitalize on it. And of course, the Blue Jays won 4 out of the 7 games in the regular season in their series, and for the most part it was somewhat back and forth. Games 1 and 2 went to Kansas City, then game 3 went to the Blue Jays, game 4 went to the Royals, game 5 went to the Blue Jays, saved themselves, and then game 6, the crucial game 6, where the Blue Jays came up short. And of course, to start off with, to see what was fair about it, again, it's the tenacity of the Royals. They were just absolutely dominant from pitching. Edinson Volquez, 6 innings, 2 hits in game 1, which eventually led to a 5-0 shutout. Another fair for them was, again, the offense just absolutely clicking. Moustakas, Zobrist, all hitting homers and whatnot. And and for the Blue Jays, again, it's just, again, a team that just showed so much heart, a team that was already filled with emotion after their dramatic series against the Rangers in the ALDS. They were coming back. I mean, Toronto down at some point and coming their way back up. And of course, and it's like game 6 that really hits a big fair on me. It's so scarring because everything was just defined by game 6. And, the biggest fair was just, unfortunately, how much the Blue Jays just couldn't capitalize at all. They had Pompey on second with no outs after he stole a base. He pinch ran for Russell Martin, then stole third with no outs, a tying run. It's 4-3. Pilar gets on base, managed to get to second, and then eventually 1 out. And then Ben Revere strikes out, and Donaldson grounds out to eventually, give the Royals the American League pennant. So obviously a big foul there would be just how unfortunate it was that the Blue Jays could not pull that final string. And they were faced with controversy too. In the first inning, I believe, that bloody kid that makes me mad to this day. But that kid, who Mike Moustakas hits a shot to right field. The kid reaches over and grabs Moustakas' what should have been a ground rule double by rule. And, instant replay, you can see that the kid was reaching out, grabbed the ball, and Bautista was ready to receive it. They went to review, and they said, no, it's inconclusive. The call stands, give it the homer. And it just amazes me that, you have video replay. And for, that was, at the time, it was recently implemented. It was a few years before that where instant replay came. And they said, no, it's fair. He was good. And the kid on being interviewed by Aaron Andrews, hey, where was the ball? Oh, it was right here in my chest. It was behind the line. I'm like, no, it wasn't. We all saw it. So, but again, it's an incredible series for the Royals. Asilis Escobar was the MVP. 5 RBIs, but he batted 478, 481, 652. And of course, eventually it led to the Royals winning the World Series. Game 2, Toronto was leading for a while, and then KC suddenly came back, and they took advantage of David Price, who was iffy, and again, iffy in the postseason, kind of like Clayton Kershaw. If you've seen our original Fair or Foul talking about the 2020 League Championship Series, very similar situations as I said there. But the Kansas City just proved out to be the better team. Of course, they ended up winning the World Series, but in my opinion, and again, this isn't a very biased way, there should have been a game 7. That's all I'm gonna say. That there should have been a Game 7.
Yeah.
So let's go to you, Andy, in the National League Championship Series.
The National League Championship Series in 2015. You know what? This was an absolute crushing defeat for the Chicago Cubs. They've not won a World Series in over 100 years at that time. They finally got it in 2016, but in 2015 they were absolutely smashed by the offensive power and the pitching dominance of the New York Mets. This is basically like the showcase of the youngsters in the pitching staff of the New York Mets, for Matt Harvey, for Noah Syndergaard, and the young Jacob Degrom, who's eventually becoming an award winner. The Mets outscored the Cubs in all four games, uh, 21-8. And the hitting for the Mets, the hitting was 35-21. Daniel Murphy set really the show for this series, and the Cubs just couldn't capitalize with their exceptional hitting and their pitching from Jake Arrieta. This is one of those series where it came from a movie reference of Back to the Future, that that movie was going to predict the Cubs winning the World Series. If you recall, if you watch those Back to the Future movies back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
they predicted the Chicago Cubs winning the World Series in 2015, but that didn't happen. Major foul for me. The Cubs just didn't have the offensive touch as they had in the regular season. This was all New York Mets in this series. Their stellar pitching with Noah Syndergaard and Jacob Degrom and Matt Harvey. That they were pretty young back in the day. Can you believe it's been like 6 years, and Matt Harvey's with a different team, and Noah Syndergaard is undergoing Tommy John surgery, and Jacob Degrom is really like holding his own right now, being the ace of the Mets staff. So definitely we got a treat for uh, the Mets, showcasing the young pitching and their exceptional hitting in that series as well. A really dominant Mets team that should have won the World Series in 2015, but it was the Royals that took it away. Their exceptional their offense, and the pitching as well has been really stellar, and it was a really good time for the Mets to win that NLCS at that time.